Union Terminal is just months away from completing the first full structural restoration since it opened in 1933. We're taking a look back at the tremendous work and accomplishments over the past 2 years of this historic undertaking. After more than a year of demolition, waterproofing, and rebuild, Union Terminal's iconic fountain and plaza look much more familiar these days. With the plaza completely waterproofed, the concrete basin of the fountain has been re-poured, recreating the scalped waterfalls and fine details that have come to define it. A 2-layer waterproofing was then applied to the fountain. Historic granite and limestone that had been carefully removed were replaced in their precise locations around the fountain and plaza. As a final step, a rustic terrazzo finish is being applied to the fountain surface. Beneath the plaza, structural engineers and steelworkers spent 6 months replacing steel girders that had been damaged by decades of water penetration through expansion joints above. To bypass the damaged steel, 8 new steel girders were brought in and customized on site. Using steel gantry systems and air skates, the beams were hoisted from the lower level to the mezzanine and moved into place. The new plaza waterproofing will prevent future water damage in these and surrounding areas. On the face of Union Terminal, crews are preparing to reinstall the clock after more than a year of repairs. The hands were removed and restored, complete with new red neon lighting along their edges. New red and amber glass are being reinstalled on the face, and the internal gears and mechanisms have been repaired, updated, and balanced to ensure the clock stays on time. Significant time has been spent addressing the limestone, brick, terracotta, and concrete around Union Terminal's exterior and the structural steel underneath. In several locations, the exterior limestone and brick were removed to expose the steel underneath, which was then cleaned and treated to prevent future oxidation should water penetrate the exterior envelope. One of the most significant masonry and structural projects was the rebuild of the curved drum walls that sit just beneath Union Terminal's half dome. Outdated construction techniques and the lack of expansion joints resulted in poor thermal expansion capabilities, damaging the wall system. The drum wall was completely disassembled and rebuilt between January 2017 and February 2018, replacing the interior terracotta wall with a concrete block wall supported by steel rods woven throughout. As a final step, original exterior brick was applied over top the reinforced concrete wall. Crews are using a similar process to disassemble and rebuild Union Terminal's west wall, which was built in the 1970s when the original concourse was demolished. The wall was disassembled to expose original structural steel for cleaning and repairs before a new concrete block wall with steel supports woven throughout was built. Exterior brick is now being added, crawling up 3 stories and just feet from an active rail line. Inside, the upgrade of mechanical, electrical, and plumbing systems is nearly complete. Aging boilers and chillers were replaced with 3 new hot water boilers, 2 steam boilers, and 3 glycol chillers that will heat and cool Union Terminal's 500,000 square feet. Additionally, an updated ice storage system has been installed, which uses ice to chill water that is then piped through the cooling system. To circulate conditioned air through the building, 23 new air handling units have been installed on rear rooftops, many with the help of a 450-ton crane, and new ductwork snakes throughout the building. Interior historic spaces are being restored, including the Lusanaville dining room where new terrazzo floors mimic the shape and location of the serpentine lunch counter that once served station diners. 22 canvas murals that adorn the walls of the dining rooms are finishing restoration by art conservators and are preparing to be unveiled in the space for the first time in over 30 years. The Scripps Newsreel Theater is in the process of getting new seating and AV systems to once again entertain and educate guests. The yellow, orange, and silver plaster bands of the rotunda have been cleaned and painted, and the red Verona marble of the rotunda and concourse have been polished, adding a fresh gleam to the spaces. Every inch of Vinyl Rice's iconic glass tile mosaics have been cleaned and repaired. Each nickel-sized tile was carefully assessed for delamination, and missing tiles were replaced. Cracks in the pigmented stucco of the background were also stabilized. In the upper wings of the north and south ramps, now the Museum of Natural History and Science and Cincinnati History Museum, the terracotta tile walls and original windows have been cleaned and repaired. Plaster ceilings have been patched and painted, and historic light fixtures have been restored and reinstalled. After 2 full years of work, only months remain in the historic restoration of Union Terminal, a monumental undertaking to save our national historic landmark. Stay tuned and follow along as we complete the first full structural restoration in Union Terminal's 85-year history.